Hi everybody, this is Nichole from Goddesses and Magi. So, me and Erica recently talked and we decided that it would be a good idea to start doing videos on current events. So, we're going to do readings on situations and people involved in current events so that everybody knows the truth of what's going on and how to benefit from each of these situations. So, the first one that I'm going to do today is the hurricane in Puerto Rico and the political repercussions from that hurricane. So I already pulled some cards, um, so I would be ready when the video came on. The first card I pulled was the One of Swords. Um, the One of Swords is pretty much saying that in the past, Puerto Rico was able to cut down rigid structures and create new beginnings. So most people know in history, um, the United States freed several Spanish-owned islands in the Caribbean and presented them with an offer, and the offer was like you can become a territory of the United States. Puerto Rico took that offer. It benefited Puerto Rico for a very long time, to an extent. Obviously, other nations didn't agree with the offer, such as Cuba and Dominican Republic, which decided to become their own country. So the card pretty much says that they may have been advised to do different things, but they decided to join the United States. And they've enjoyed, to some degree, some independence, more so than they enjoyed when they were part of, when they were owned by Spain. So the second card is the Three of Wands in reverse. And basically what that is saying is they're running into a lot of blockages. So they've been very oppressed now by the United States. The United States, it's common knowledge, and you can look it up, that the United States has done extensive testing on Puerto Rican people without their consent. They're basically being strong-armed at this point. So there's not a lot of things that they can do to go up against the United States. Obviously, the United States is a lot larger than the island of Puerto Rico, which has about 3.5 million people, which is smaller than the city of New York. So the Three of Wands reversed, they basically tell them if they break free, they will be much happier than they are now. The Seven of Cups is the last card from this deck that I pulled for Puerto Rico. And this is basically saying that they have a lot of options now. Just because they have a lot of options doesn't mean they're going to get a positive outcome from each of these options. Basically, the outcome will be based on the other cards that I've pulled. So based on the other cards that I've pulled and based on their past, their best option would be to gain independence from the United States and rule themselves. Now, I pulled a card from my Goddess Tarot deck, and they got the Throne of Fire, which is the Phoenix. And so basically, this goes along with, if you follow Goddess of Magi or my personal page, what I've been saying, that from any destruction brings new life. So this particular destruction of this island chased out a lot of people who are attempting to gentrify and basically turn into a tourist destination, turn the island into a tourist destination. So it's driven all of that out, and now they can reform and transform into a new and beautiful nation if they choose to do so. Thank you. Okay, so the second reading that I'm going to do today is about the recent shooting massacre in Las Vegas at the Country Music Festival. So I pulled 3 cards out of the Rider-Waite deck for that. And the first one was the Queen of Pentacles reverse. The wind blow this one. So basically what that says is, I asked about motivations and factors that played into, obviously, this man deciding to shoot that many people at one time. So it says, basically, there's a lot of past influences that influenced his decision. He had a lot of insecurity. He wasn't very sensitive to other people. He was ruthless and demanding person, and he could not take criticism from others. He was a very toxic person. So basically, just not a very pleasant person to be around. He was, yeah, like the type where, like, you say something about him, and he would get mad, but he would talk about other people all the time. So the second card I pulled was the King of Wands reversed. Now, I have a little side note about the King of Wands reversed. Anytime I do a reading about the government or 45, this is his card for my deck. When I read him, that's what I get. So, the King of Wands reversed is someone who is like a dictator, bad temper, very violent, lives a double life. They terrorize their family. They can't take responsibility for their actions. They have no integrity. They think they are better looking than they actually are. They have no shame. They're very promiscuous, braggadocious, and a notorious underachiever. So I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. The feeling I got when this happened, and I feel like is confirmed in this reading, is the political climate in the United States has a lot to do with why this shooting happened. I feel like it may have been an action which has been done before to throw people off. It obviously it was a white man who did the shooting. The shooting was at one of the largest country music festivals in the United States. Most of the people going to a country music festival are white Republicans. I mean, there are other people who enjoy country music, but that's country music historically has been known to be white and Republican. Those are also the people who happen to be for gun rights. They happen to be the people who assumed it wouldn't happen to them because they could protect themselves. So, and the first person who was blamed for the shooting before they found out who did it was I believe he was a Hispanic man. They blamed first before they figured out that it was this other man. I think his name's Stephen Paddock, who did the shooting. And then they quickly tried to blame it on ISIS, indoctrinating this man to shoot the people. I don't feel that's what happened at all. I feel like he did it to so somebody else would get blamed for it, and it would start some type of war between the sides, the political sides. Okay, so the last card I got, which is the future card, is the reverse Queen of Swords. And basically what that's saying is miscommunication with technology involved. And anybody who's on Facebook or social media knows the types of arguments and miscommunications that happen on social media all the time. Basically barriers between people. Assuming the worst of people and stereotyping people are involved with this card. So then I went to the goddess deck, and one card flew out. It was the Two of Wind card, which stands for balance. And basically what it says is you have to find a middle ground. You it must be found from both sides. You need to understand each other, and no one must lead or control other people. So this shooting will play a part in in finding a political balance between the two sides. The second card that I pulled out of the deck after I got done shuffling was the Crone of Earth. The Crone of Earth says that we as a nation will ascend, and we have to let go of our old ways of thinking. So any kind of oppression or separation between people in this country has to stop, or else these things will continue to happen until balance is found. So those are my political current event readings for this week. Next week we will address different topics, and I believe Erica will be doing a live Facebook video tonight, which is October 3rd. She'll be doing a live video on Facebook. You have to go to the Goddesses of Magi Facebook page, and she'll be broadcasting that. And I think she's doing astrology on like Kim Jong-un. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and other current events that are going on from an